Michael Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing H1N1 by Average Joe's Cornhole. Let's go and dive in, break these bags down. As always, let's start with materials. Slow side, this is a hybrid material. It's that material I used to refer to as the clone material. Same slow sides you find on the swag bags, Kaboom, Tornado, Sub-Zero Wintertide, True Cornhole, Bullseye, the Surefire, Lucky Bag, Surefire Elite, the CBC Carbon. I go on and on. There's a long list of bags that use this material. It's a wonderful material, very popular material. I call it a 5-speed. Brand new, a little quicker. Once it breaks down, softens up, it gets in that 5-speed, plays kind of right down that sweet spot, right? That middle speed that a lot of players are going to like. Very hole friendly for the control you get with it, which was what makes these hybrid materials so popular, is because you get control, but you're not sacrificing hole friendliness with that. It's also a material that plays pretty consistent across all board conditions. So if you live in an area where you deal with some humidity, or you deal with board conditions changing, or weather conditions changing throughout a tournament, this is the material that's going to play fairly consistent across all those conditions for you. So 5-speed on the slow side here. Fast side, this is that Surefire Game Changer fast side. 8.5 speed. It's fast. It has some control to it. It's great for pushing and riding those blockers up the board. It's great for dealing with congestion and chaos around the hole. Very hole-friendly material. 8.5 speed on these H1N1s. Template-wise, medium template bag. It's a medium amount of fill, but it's on the thinner side of medium. So you have some flop. It is not overly floppy, but it's definitely floppier than what I would call a quote-unquote normal bag. So it definitely had, the flop gives this bag a ton of forgiveness too. Super forgiving bag. The flop, as well as the fill. The fill in here is a 100% flat fill. I think it's a 100% flat disc fill from what I can tell. Super flat fill. There, every now and then I find a piece that's a little odd shape, but the companies that make the resin, they don't make resin for cornhole bags. The resin is made to be melted down to form plastic items. And so inconsistencies, irregularities in the fill isn't that big of a deal, but sometimes you get the fill in a cornhole bag and I feel some random pieces, and I can't tell if that was an intentional different piece of fill or if it was just an irregularity in the fill that's in here. Either way, it's 100% flat fill. It's almost all disc fill. It's not 100% disc fill in here, which that and the flop give this bag that super forgiving landing, right? This is a bag that has very little to no kick to it whatsoever. So if you throw faster bags and you're looking for a control bag, but every time you go down to a slower bag, you find the bags just kick or move or punish you, these H1N1s are probably going to be the bag you're looking for. Land very softly, flatten out, run fairly straight, true up the board. I didn't have a lot of issues with kicks on these bags whatsoever. It does make it a little tougher for shot shaping, right? So if you like to throw cuts, rolls, flops, not the best bag for that, but I don't think this bag was designed for that play style of mine. I'll get more to that in playability here on these. The one knock I would say on the bag would be around the hole, and the bags are forgiving around the hole in the sense that they have enough flop that corner dips in and grabs the hole really well. So I talk about the landing zone, that rectangular box that you want to land your bags in. These H1N1s have a larger than normal landing zone because the flop them. They do a wonderful job. If you're missing left or right, it grabs that lip and pulls that bag back in. What I found was because of the flat disc fill in here, sometimes I would have bags hang that maybe an all bead fill wouldn't hang up, right? But they weren't hard to collect. They weren't, as long as I know the bag, I'd go get them. And that's the trade-off. I talk all the time about when you're making cornhole bags, it's a zero-sum game. So when you gain something, you gain forgiveness, you've got to give up something somewhere else. And that's the trade-off that you make in bags. And I'm really nitpicking here, so don't hear what I'm not saying, right? When I talk about these bags, and sometimes when it hang, if you watch it, you'll see plenty of bags that drip in the hole. If I get enough of the bag over, it drips in. But I did find occasionally a bag would kind of hang there. Not hard to go get, not hard to collect. And honestly, when I'm playing cornhole, I don't mind having bags that I leave bags hanging around, especially my first 2 or 3 bags. I don't mind having them hanging around the hole because sometimes that forces your opponent to do something stupid, right? They see a bag hanging, so they try to sneak around it and no one take it in it, and they end up missing and leaving a bag short, or leaving a bag to the side, or throwing a bag off the back of the board, and then you can collect your bag, get points. So I'm okay with it, and it really wasn't a problem for me with these bags. I just again trying to nitpick the differences of the bags out there for you. These bags are ACO stamped, so if you're playing the ACO, you can throw these H1N1s. Let's jump in, talk more about playability. And this bag, to me, this bag is designed for the hole runner. And this is where I had the most success with it. When I got out there and just wanted to run bags, put bags in the hole, it did a phenomenal job of that. That's where I think it stood out. You have the ability to throw blockers. This slow side has control to it, so you can put blockers up there where you want on the board. Where I was finding, I don't say difficult, where I had to make adjustments was collectability of this bag. These bags, and I think it's because of the flop. I talk about times about floppy bags want accordioning up. I found when I was trying to collect a bag, if I threw a blocker on my opponent's side and I tried to come down to collect just and clip the corner, I found that my bag would kind of spin around. and the push bag would take hole control, go in, which was great if that was my opponent's blocker. These bags are wonderful to get around. They want to just get around bags more than go through bags. So I found when I was trying to collect my bags, I had to come more intentional, more, a third, a quarter or a third of the bag, clip that, grab it, and then I would push up, no problem whatsoever. Enough speed on the fast side to push in multiple bags. So if you want to play a really dirty style game and put multiple bags up there and then come down to your last bag and just blow up the pond, clean it up, you can do it with this fast side here. So you do have the ability to play dirty if you want to. But to me, I think there are better bags out there for that dirty style gameplay. I think this is a bag designed, like I said, for running bags in the hole, especially if you get on faster boards or you're a harder thrower, you want a little bit more control material, but you still want to run bags. These H1N1s do it beautifully. If you're dealing with an opponent who throws blockers and plays a dirty style game, these bags do a great job because it gives you the ability to get around them. So even if you don't have a cut, a roll, or a flop, these bags are really good at if your opponent throws a bag up there, you can just kind of aim for the corner and you'll spin right around their bag and just, like I said, take hole control, go in without having to do anything fancy. So for those of you who don't do shot shaping, but you want a bag to deal with those blockers, I think these H1N1s are a great option for you. Shot shaping wise, this is a bag that you can cut, roll, flop. It's not the easiest bag because of the forgiveness. The flop and the flat fill, it doesn't have a lot of bounce, doesn't have a lot of movement. Like I said, it lands very soft, very forgiving landing, which means it's a little harder to get that bag to pop up, which means you need to be above average to advance in those shot shaping skill sets to have success with that. Average to below average, probably not the best bag for you. But again, I don't think that's what this bag's designed for. It's also a great bag for blind draws or switcholios or tournaments where you play, where you get random partners. Because of the forgiveness of the bag, it's not a super punishing bag. Pretty much anybody can pick this bag up and throw it. So it makes it a great bag for those events. It makes it a great bag if you're beginning or new, starting out, you don't know where to start. I think this is a wonderful bag because the material, this bag is super forgiving. It's a bag that you can start out and learn to play. It won't punish you. It won't frustrate you as much as some other bags might do. And then as you get better and progress, the bag can move up as your skill level improves. It's a bag you can continue to throw. So wonderful bag for all skill levels, wonderful bags for those blind draws or switcholios. It's a super versatile bag. It's a super forgiving bag. It's a bag I think a lot of players are going to like if you get it in your hands. And one thing I didn't mention, the hand feel. It's got a wonderful hand feel. These two materials, once they break in, they soften up nicely. And flat disc is probably the best feel for hand feel. Like flat disc, it just has a nice fluid, smooth feel to it. You don't feel any clumps or lumps or beads in there whatsoever. It just compresses nicely. It locks in. The bag is very stable. It doesn't move. If hand feel is important to you, you're gonna like the way these H1N1s feel. That leads me into availability. Average Joe's has a website, averagejoescornhole.com. As always, I'll put a link to the description for you guys. These bags were $65 for a set. The shipping wasn't a flat rate, so it kind of varied depending on where you live. So it looks like anywhere from about $7 to $10 for shipping. So $75 or less for these bags, which is phenomenal price for an ACO stand bag. Kind of at that cheaper, lower price point of bags, and from what I can tell, high quality bags for that. So if you're intrigued by trying this hybrid material, maybe you haven't tried it yet, and you want to give it a run at these H1N1s at $75 or even a little less than that shipped to you, phenomenal price for it. I think you're going to be happy with quality bags, happy with the way the bags play. I think it's worth the risk to give it a run. So definitely check them out. If you've thrown these H1N1s, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I always love hearing you guys' opinions. As always, I thank you so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.